Welcome to our new series, the 200 Movie Challenge. Our goal this year is to watch 200 movies that we haven't seen yet. If you want to listen to the full podcast where this clip is from, the link will be in the description. Now enjoy today's movie.
Let me tell you about the last movie we're going to talk about in my second movie of the week. I also saw an animated movie based on a TV show. And there's been some. This is more of a comedy, by the way. This is no serious demon slaying or anything like that. And, I like mindless entertainment. And a show that me and Jill used to watch. We used to watch South Park, Family Guy. But we also used to watch Bob's Burgers a lot. And somehow, for some reason, they made a movie a few years ago. Now, this is nothing. We're like, okay, we should see this. We weren't rushing to the theaters, kind of see it. We're like, we can wait. We'll wait. And I kind of forgot about this movie. And on Disney Plus again, sometimes they're like, hey, free with Hulu, or thank you for Hulu. So you don't need to have a Hulu subscription to watch this. And this is how I watched a couple of these movies because, like before I saw Ready or Not, I'm like, oh. So I'm like, all right. So I looked at Jill. I'm like, you want to watch this? And so we planned it. And yeah, so the other night we watched the Bob's Burgers movie. Now, I mentioned South Park. I'm going to kind of start off comparing for a reason. When the South Park movie, Bigger, Longer, Uncut, came out, South Park, I think, was in season 2 or 3. I'm not, so they just became huge in pop culture. Everyone knew what kind of style it was. Either you loved it or you hated it. If you loved adult comedies, and then you go see the movie, and it took what you loved about the show and just added so much more. I did not expect South Park, the movie, to be a musical. They obviously went way above the R rating, with swearing. So I'm like, I love this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, they gave us something more that they couldn't do on the show. And that to me should be the point of some of these, unlike what you saw, which is the ending of the whole series. That's a little different, but I'm just saying in these 30-minute episodes, like, what are you going to do different that doesn't make it feel like I'm just watching a longer TV show? You know what I'm saying? So I love South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut. I can put that in any day, anytime. I'm singing the songs. I know those songs. I'm happy and I'm fine. You can put me and start anywhere. I say that because, all right, so we're watching the Bob's Burgers movie and I'm like, okay, in getting into it, they do a little opening musical number. I'm like, okay, whatever. This is kind of funny. The real problem is, Soto, I did laugh at this, but this basically felt like 3 episodes slapped together. Like basically one. This is nothing there's nothing really different, no real added, I couldn't even tell you if there's any cameo
there isn't
voices.
like another level.
No, there isn't.
Like there's not like that other level.
I could have just turned on Fox, watch Family Guy. This turned on. This would have been like part 1 and part 2 because I think this is only like an hour, 20, hour and a half. It's not like a long movie. It's not supposed to be. I mean, the quick premise is basically, obviously, kind of like the show. They're trying to pay their rent, but also they have to pay the bank, so they're trying to figure out how to pay both. And there's some festival going on down the street, but unfortunately this huge sinkhole happens in front of their building, so no customers can get in. Some shenanigans. So what I mean, it is just like, but overall, like I said, I laughed because I do like Bob's Burgers. I'm not gonna, it's not my, again, I love South Park more. I like Family Guy, but I know when I watch things like Family Guy and Bob's Burgers, I'm like, I can turn my brain off. I can just be there in the background. I'll get a few laughs, like, oh, haha, But yeah, with this, I was watching, like, what? I mean, that's all it felt like to me, Soto. It just felt like, watching 3 episodes back to back, and it didn't add anything more.
It's not bad.
And again, no, it isn't. And hence, I'm glad I did not go see this. And again, we did not plan on it. But I'm thinking, I'm like, man, if I would have paid to go see it in the theaters, I would have been fucking pissed off. Whereas I went to see South Park in theaters. I'm like, damn, that was fucking awesome. I can't wait to see this shit again. So again, if you're a fan of Bob's Burgers, it's free. So that helped, So I'm just saying, don't expect anything more. Expect everything kind of, if you like the show, you're going to like the movie. I mean, plain and simple. There's nothing... it's just different shenanigans, different areas. The same side characters appear, kind of the same things. Tina's trying to ask out Jim, but so it's basically everything they kind of done in the show, just in a 90-minute format. So I don't want to say I was disappointed. I kind of just wanted them to do something. I even say the same thing about the Simpsons movie. I didn't.
Mhm.
Yeah, they left Springfield a little bit, but overall, it's like outside of Spider Pig, I don't really remember anything from the Simpsons movie. Because I just felt like that was just a longer show. Um, but
Or
yeah,
like, what about Beavis and Butthead Do America? Right?
but see
That's a
what
movie.
but what did they do different? They took them away from basically, because at that time there
Yes.
wasn't much of skits. There's very few. They added what Bruce Willis and Demi Moore. I think then they both. I know Bruce Willis and
Yeah.
Demi Moore. So they added voices. They couldn't just sit on the couch and make fun of music videos. They're like, okay, we need to expand and do
Right.
like some kind of
Yes.
adventure. Yeah,
Take it to another level.
now the humor is pretty much the same, which is fine. Again, that's you don't want to alienate your fans. And again, I
Of
do
course.
love Beavis and Butthead. It's been a while since I watched anything of theirs, and I remember enjoying the movie. I've only probably seen it a couple times. I didn't hate it. Funny story. Since you brought it up, my very first Blockbuster I worked at was in Illinois, and the very first time
Mhm.
I ever did inventory for a Blockbuster, Beavis and Butthead VHS, Beavis and Butthead to America, I pulled it back to scan the thing, and lo and behold, there was a condom behind it, not in the wrapper, out of the wrapper. I don't think it was used, and I'm like, welcome to Mundaland, people. So I that's how I always remember Beavis and Butthead to America. But again, that
No.
they did something different than the show, and
Yeah.
that's the point. You need to kind of do, and like I said, South Park made it R. Like they
Oh my
wanted to
God.
be PG-13. They
Masterpiece.
said no, we're doing it R. And this is before Trey and Matt
They
were
sure did.
huge. Again, because I think it was season 2. It was very early, and they stuck to their guns,
Mhm.
and they were right. And the fact that it was,
It was great.
I didn't even expect a musical. And like I said, I can go singing those songs. I've played that at so many Blockbusters before we opened or during inventories, just to listen to the music. I'm like, I love this. But I'm not
I'm
here.
pretty sure Trey Parker was like a major in music.
Oh, yeah.
In college, and I think he was a major in Japanese and music or some shit like that. Because he has Cannibal the Musical, which I love, and Cannibal the Musical has so many great fucking moments in that as well. So,
Did you?
but I digress.
No, we'll digress a little more. Did you ever see the concert that Matt and Trey put on a few years ago? I think it might have been close to like 2021 because it was kind of right after COVID. Like they perform all these South Park songs on stage.
Wow.
Oh, it's hilarious because you know why? Here's why: because they have, and he's playing hence the musical thing. Because obviously he's also, I think Matt's playing the drums. I think Trey, so they're playing other instruments. But the funniest part about all this, because they also have some background singers, and they're dressed in like the Colorado, winter getup, and they're just all these females, and they do. Kyle's mom is a bitch, in this. And if anyone that remembers this from the movie, they go and do other languages, and to see these women, these background singers doing that, me and Jill watched that a couple times. Like if you can find it, you got time, even if it's just parts of it, it is hilarious. But they put on a concert. It was great. But anyhow, Bob's Burgers, you're if you've seen the TV show, you're gonna get in the same shenanigans as the movie, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ranking this,
it's got to be better than the Ron Clark story, or it's got to be worse than the Ron Clark story, right?
You know what's funny, Soto?
Ron
Soto,
story.
I had, dude, this is hilarious. I put this, I'm looking at this right now, and I was about to say, I'm putting this at number 45, right underneath Escape Room, right above the Ron Clark story. I shit you not. I wish I could show, like, I'm typing this in, because I got to do my screenshots. Because, okay, I kind of was looking down, and let me quit. I was looking at the 50s and like Nintendo Quest. I'm like, no, this was, and then I'm like Bill and Ted. I'm like, yeah, it's wrong. And then I see Escape Room. I'm like, well, Escape Room kind of cheesy. It gave me something different, and that's when I'm like, this feels right. Now again, this might, I think this is number 83 for me, and a couple I'll be at 85. So I might have to revisit soon. Like I said, maybe I didn't know I said 80. I think I miscounted. I might have to like a 90 do before my final 10. Or not my final 10 because we gotta get to 200. But anyhow, Bob's Burgers 45. If you love the show, you'll love the movie. It's just not going to give you anything more, and I'll leave it at that. So,